Hey, good afternoon, guys. One of the big ongoing themes you'll see in my videos is homesteading on a budget. So when a problem presents itself around the homestead, dealing with it in the cheapest and most efficient way possible. So a buddy of mine a while back gave me this old military trailer, old M105, which is pretty sweet, except for it had the old military braking system on it, which was air over hydraulic, which does not really work for civilian vehicles. So instead of doing the electronic controller and everything, which would set me back another $1,000 or so, I'm actually just fabricating a surge brake on the front of it. I got that off the internet for 150 bucks on a clearance from one of the trailer sites. So I really want to make this a multi-use trailer. I want to do a dump conversion, and I also want to get the hoops and side rails for it that originally came with it, but didn't come with that particular one because it was a freebie. So I found some the other day on the internet, on Marketplace, and went and picked them up. I got a good deal on them, but they have a whole lot of surface rust and a lot of chipping paint, so I needed a way to bust that paint off. So I looked around and found this Sandblaster for pressure washer kit. So it actually will hook up to my DeWalt pressure washer and turn it into a Sandblaster. All right, so I got the pressure washer out. The first thing we're going to do is connect this, and we use the quick disconnect fitting into the quick disconnect coupling. I did order the right ones. It actually fits. It is pretty loose in here, you can see. There a lot of information I see about this. You want to have this pickup above your water source so it doesn't shoot water back out of it being below. Now, there's other videos on here where I see guys using it below and don't seem to have a problem. So I'm going to do a quick comparison between the two. And if it actually makes a difference, I'm going to take a piece of bike tire, wrap it around here with some zip ties just to hold it in place to keep it upright. So stand by. All right. So try it in the upright position. Definitely pulling a good bit of suction onto my thumb here. Let's flip it over and see if we have the same thing. And it's doing the same amount of suction upside down. Although I am just going to err on the side of caution, use a little common sense, and fix it in the upright position just to avoid any issues down the road with wet sand, clogging up the nozzle, etc. So let's get on with it. All right, I think we're all set up and ready to begin. The couple things I noticed during setup, it does come with 4 hose clamps total, so you can get 2 on each end to prevent any vacuum leaks. It also comes with 2 extra ceramic tips, and the tips go in here. This just unscrews, they replace, because they will wear out with the sand or media blowing through them. This is the little piece I made to keep the wand from rotating, so this pickup can be above the water source. It's just a piece of bicycle tube with some wire ties, and then I have it feeding down here into my bag of sand, and I'm using just regular playground sand, which is what I see most people using. I also have some actual blasting media in the truck I might try later. But yeah, I have it double clamped, ready to go. You don't want your sand to get wet at all, and there's going to be sand and water flying everywhere, presumably. So I just have a piece of plastic to cover that up with to keep any water from getting in. Also, safety first, I have some gloves I'm going to wear and a visor. So here we go. So everything worked out pretty well for the first minute. It seemed to be collecting and spewing out a good amount of sand. And then it tapered off. And I cleaned everything out, and it's still not giving me the volume of sand I think it should be collecting. So let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I turned the bag sideways, and I cleaned everything out. And I barely have this in. And with it barely in, you can see, oh, hold on. There we go. You see the sand moving. But if I put the pickup in any deeper than that, it doesn't pick up. So I'm either losing vacuum somewhere, losing suction, or I'm going to have a second person here to agitate the sand constantly to get the pick up. So I'm going to clean it out again. I'm going to check all my connections and stand by. Okay, so I tightened everything down as much as I could. These plastic tabs will break if you over tighten them. And I put just a real tight layer of electrical tape around everything. This doesn't matter because it's water, but it was leaking a little bit, so I replaced that. I did the same up here. I also straightened out all the kinks as best I could in the hoses, folded up from shipping, and it's pretty much stuck that way, but let's see if it works. So that definitely seemed to help. Let's see if it works on the real thing. All right, so I've placed the bag back in the upright position. As you can see, there's a ton of sand residue coming out now. So fixing the vacuum or suction issues was the problem. Now that we have it working properly, let's take this completely rusted piece here and blast it and see what it can do. I'm gonna need to clean my lens off after this, but that's pretty damn good for a $30 product. So one other handy tool to have is an air compressor with a blower on it. You can use it to blow off sand from your finished product. Also, stick it in the hose when the hose gets clogged, because it does get clogged and needs to be cleaned from time to time, and blow it out that way. It beats putting your mouth on it. Another cool thing you can do when you're doing a bunch of little pieces, your pickup, if you have it in the sand, when you're ready to wash your piece off, you just pull it out and hold it, wash it off, put it back in for the next piece. So there's no, changing fittings or anything like that. So that's another nice feature. I feel like I've just been through a sandstorm. Anyway, I've wrapped up my first big piece, and one helpful hint: when you cut your bag of sand open, put the slice on the side, not the top. So when you get your pickup in there, you can keep the water out of it. If I had to make this kit myself, I'd make the pickup hose a lot longer, just because reaching large pieces like that is difficult. But I don't know if that would affect the amount of suction you get out of it or anything like that. But this is the finished product. Just with hitting it lightly, I was able to get most of the chip paint and surface rust off. And I'll show you an identical piece in similar shape I'm about to do, just to see how bad it was. I mean, you can see that's pretty rough there. But all in all, I would give it, I'd say 4 out of 10 for 30 bucks. I mean, the biggest issue I had, it didn't come with instructions, which wasn't too hard to figure out, but made it a little extra hassle. I just kind of had to figure out as I went. And then the vacuum leaks, I'm sure they could make a way to seal it up better to prevent the vacuum leaks. But like I said, 30 bucks is what it is. Anyway, I hope this helps, and cheers.